Hey, welcome everybody. Let's talk real estate. Your weekly BS with Barry Saywitz about the current commercial real estate market here in Southern California. As we take a no BS look at both sides of the issues driving this market today to find the best solutions going forward. With our man right in the middle, Barry Saywitz. Hey, Barry.
Hey, good morning, Paul, and good morning to all of our viewers and our listeners out there. Thanks again for tuning in. If it's Tuesday, which I'm pretty sure it is, we are talking real estate. I am Barry Saywitz, president of the Saywitz Company and managing partner of Saywitz Properties. And if it's one thing I've learned in my 30 plus years of doing this, it's try to be on time, brush your teeth, surround yourself with good people, and make good business decisions. And today is no different. I have brushed my teeth. I am all ready to go. And we're going to talk about a key aspect of real estate here in Orange County, especially housing. And so I'm excited about today's show and our guest. I want to welcome Yvette Ahlstrom, who is the housing director of HOMEAID Orange County, to the show. Yvette, welcome. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Paul. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so Paul is with us. I'm Barry. We're both
Barry,
here,
yes.
just so we know. I want to, I guess, start by talking about the history of HOMEAID and how it sort of developed over time for those folks out there that are not familiar with your organization and what it does. I guess give us a little background and bring us to where we stand today.
Thanks, Barry. Absolutely. HOMEAID Orange County was developed about 35 years ago out of a need for nonprofits that had property, and a nonprofit down in Irvine had been gifted a property. They call it the farmhouse, and they went to the Building Industry Association of Orange County and said, we need help. We want to revitalize this property so that we can house homeless families on here. And the BIA was very excited. They were not prepared to throw hard cold cash at the deal, but they had all kinds of trades and labor and materials, and really were excited to jump in. And so a lot of people got together and worked on this project and brought it to fruition. They were able to do it at a very reduced cost to the nonprofit, and it was a win-win for everyone. And that actually is how HOMEAID was born out of it. So we are a partnership between nonprofit service providers here in Orange County, serving those experiencing homelessness, and the building industry. And we bring the two together to make sure that we are building affordable housing and shelter so that the nonprofits can house those are homeless in the community, and make sure that they get all of the services that make them stable and able to rebuild their lives and to be operating and contributing members of our society. So we're really proud about the partnerships that we have with both the building industry and the nonprofit service providers here in Orange County.
Yeah, and look, homelessness is a hot topic nationwide, certainly in California. And we've had a number of mayors on the show in the past talking about homelessness in their city and what they're trying to do. And so I got to believe that the good work that you folks are doing is certainly welcomed by the city, not only the state and everybody who's participating. I mean, it's sort of a no-lose situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. We get to partner with many of the cities here in Orange County, and it is a blessing to be able to work directly with these cities. They want to make sure that the people that are experiencing homelessness in their cities have the opportunity to become housed in healthy, safe, clean housing. And so we have had many partnerships. We just recently finished a partnership last week with the city of Tustin for another nonprofit to build a 7-unit complex for those experiencing homelessness, and it's beautiful. The city offered up the property and the nonprofit raised the funds, and we brought the industry together and built a beautiful home.
And is that a ground up kind of a development, or is it a rehab of existing?
It was a ground up 7 units on El Camino Real in Tustin for Family Promise of Orange County, in conjunction with Brookfield Residential and the city of Tustin. and it is 7 units. It'll house at least 7 families, possibly more if small families go in there and share a unit. And they will be able to receive all kinds of services. They get case management, connection to mental health and physical health. They get some help with childcare. All kinds of things that will help them transition to permanent long-term housing and be ready for that. So it's a wonderful project.
Yeah,
We're very proud of it.
it sounds like. And so I want to dig into a couple of things just for the folks that are out there that are not necessarily familiar with what the full scope entails. It's not just housing, right? These other ancillary services, are they provided by the city? Are they provided by the state? Is it the county? Is it a combination of things? When you talk about childcare, mental health services, those kinds of things?
They are provided by the service provider. So the Family Promise of Orange County on this project will be the service provider, and they have staff members that will be located at that building on the daily. They will meet with their clients. They offer case management. They make plans. They offer help with workforce development. They make connections to all of the resources that are out there in our communities. And sometimes that's the most difficult thing for our individuals to figure out. Where's my next connection? What's my next step? How do I make that step? How do I do these things? And so the service provider comes alongside and helps those people guide and work through the systems. So yes, the city provides the resources, the county provides resources, the state provides resources, but the nonprofit service provider partners with the family or the individual to make sure that they can navigate the system
Right.
for the best outcome for themselves.
All right, so they're the service providers acting as sort of the quarterback and the coach to help
Yeah,
guide these people with a game plan. Because
exactly.
it's not just about putting a roof over your head, although that's
Yeah.
certainly an important factor of it. But now
Mhm.
that those families don't have to worry about putting a roof over their head, now they can
Yes.
go focus on some of the other things at hand.
Exactly. That's the policy and the knowledge behind Housing First, which has been adopted by HUD nationally, Housing First. The idea is that we take the biggest stressor off of people, which is being homeless. And once you have housing, your children are safe, your family is safe, you have a place to come home every night, then you get to focus on the things that make you able to be a contributing factor, to get a job, to
Yeah.
get healthy, whether it's mental health or physical health or to addiction or substance use, whatever it is. Once you have a home and that stress is off, then you really get to concentrate on the things that will make you healthy.
Well,
So that is,
yeah, and for those families, it's my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is transitional housing, so this is not meant to be a permanent home for these
yeah,
folks. There are
it,
other families that are in need that need to get in the program, and then these
mhm,
families need to, I guess, move on and
exactly.
implement their plan, right?
Yep, it's interim bridge housing. So it's 6 to 18 months, depending on what a family really needs. But it's there that they're learning and redeveloping the skills to live in a domestic environment. You and I, thankfully, through the blessings of life, don't experience homelessness. But when you're out on the streets and you're experiencing homelessness, your domestic abilities kind of atrophy, but your survival skills are absolutely honed and sharpened. And so the balance has to come. You have to take that breath and realize that you're safe and realize that it's okay to let down and to work on other things. And that's what they do. And so they quickly balance themselves out and then they seek housing, whether it's through affordable housing or it's through vouchers that they receive or whatever other program that service provider can connect them to. Then they seek their permanent housing and they move on, making space for the next family to come in.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess, again, that while they're in this transitional state, then they're also working on, and so is the service provider, finding them, whether it's a Section 8 voucher or whether it's
Mhm.
another organization that will help them with some other housing, because
Mhm.
ultimately, at the end of the day, the goal is to have them stand on their own 2 feet, and then that's not so easy in today's real estate market either in terms of finding
Absolutely.
another
Yeah.
place, right?
True. Perfect.
And so, as far and this may not be your bailiwick, but maybe you can share with the folks out there. how do you get into the program to be one of those 7 families? Seems like that would be the golden ticket.
Yeah.
And then B, who determines which family is more in need to be able to get involved with this program? Because while this particular project you're talking about is only 7 units, I know there's others that are larger, but there's a large population of people out there that are in need.
It's true. Very true. Excellent question. So in Orange County, we have a continuum of care and we have a coordinated entry system, and every individual or family that is experiencing homelessness needs to get into the coordinated entry system, and all of the housing opportunities go through the coordinated entry system. There is a, I don't want to say hierarchy, but a list, and it's the best fit. So if it's a family of 6 and the house in Tustin, the House of Ruth, has an opening for a family of 6 and there's only one family of 6 on the list, that family gets matched. So it's the best match to the open unit and those that have been on there long enough and that they qualify. But it goes through the county. The county operates it. The Family Solutions Collaborative partners and runs the family coordinated entry system. And it makes it so that it's fair and it moves people through the most quickly, and they're connected to the most appropriate opportunity for them.
Yeah. So then let's shift gears back to your piece of it for a second, because you're the builder, if you will,
Yeah.
right? And you're bringing in the resources to be able to facilitate getting the project developed. How on your end, you obviously have long-term relationships, whether it's with Brookfield or construction companies or architects or those kinds of things. So you bring these folks in based on the scope and the size of the project and also the desirability of, I suppose, your partners to get involved. And then are they providing these services on a pro bono basis, or how does that work with your relationship with the folks in the industry?
Absolutely, yes. So we have long-term relationships. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is that we have had the ability to partner with some of the best in the industry, both architects and civil engineers and structural engineers and builder captains and all of the trades that come along with it. And so one of the things that HOMEAID does, that is what we bring to the table for our nonprofits, is a builder captain. So we partnered with Brookfield, we partner with City Ventures, we're partnering with Land Sea Homes and with the New Home Company, and several others in the county. When a builder captain signs on to a HOMEAID project, they adopt the project as one of their own at no cost to the service providers. So that's one of the things that we bring to the table with them. And then that builder captain brings along all of the trades that they work with normally. And together, myself and my team and the builder captain, we work with them and ask them to reduce their cost to the project as much as humanly possible. We pride ourselves on between 30 and 50% reduction of cost to the project, so that all the reduction in cost allows that operator to have those funds at the end to operate the project again. And then I always like to say, we all want to end homelessness here in Orange County, whether it's your passion like it is mine and those of us that work at HOMEAID, or you really just don't want to see people homeless in your community. We all want to be part of the solution to homelessness. And we know that the one and only thing that ends homelessness here in Orange County is housing. So I love to offer the opportunity for others to get involved and bring their own expertise to a project to help end homelessness for people.
Yeah, and look, it seems like if you're an expert in whatever subtrade it is that you're talking to and they want to get involved, they want to do something good for the community, it's a perfect opportunity, because it's not just writing a check and it's not just helping in a jogathon. It's really using your skill to benefit people directly. And so it seems like it would be an easy sell, but at the same time, you have inflation, you have challenges in the real estate business, you have challenges in the construction business, and I'm sure all of those vendors have their own challenges with staffing and controlling costs as well. So I'm going to guess it makes it a challenge nonetheless.
It's a challenge. And I am really proud to say that the trades and the building industry here in Orange County continue to step up, even post-COVID, when the cost of construction and materials was just astronomical. they still stepped up and they still pushed their suppliers and they did all of the things and, really helped bring the projects to fruition. Inflation, of course, ate a lot of our budget, but we still reduced the cost and did the right thing. And, the pride that individuals take when they get on a project for HOMEAID and they realize that they are making a difference, the pride that people get to take in the work that they do is just amazing. And we always have people that are doing the trades and the labor that go above and beyond, and do things that, maybe not aren't called out, but will make the project better. And so I'm always proud to be a partner with these people.
Yeah, and relative to the states, we've had other discussions on air about it, where the state clearly has mandated, if you will, individual cities to provide affordable housing. I mean, this is a little different ball of wax, but it falls, I think, under the same umbrella, where each of the cities has pressure from the state to address the homelessness situation in their city, however they go about doing that. So I guess where I'm going is the concept of what you're providing a warm welcome from each of the cities, and are they in turn then looking for opportunities? Because it seems like you get development, you get new construction, you're not left with an old junky building, or like we heard on the news where somebody's taken a motel and then thrown people in there, which, while it gets people off the street, doesn't really improve the real estate and doesn't improve the value or the neighborhood or anything else. It seems like with a ground up construction like this, it really checks the box on a bunch of different fronts.
True, absolutely true. That is kind of how Tustin got involved. We have a project that will be a HOMEAID owned project in the city of Orange, and we are partnering with the city. The city had 3 historical bungalows over on West La Vida that they are, not currently fit for housing, but they were needed to have some affordable housing in their city. And so they put out an RFP for these 3 properties, and HOMEAID applied. And so we are purchasing the 3 properties all together from the city of Orange. We will renovate the front units historically on the exterior and then upgrade the interiors. And on the back, we're going to add an ADU to each of the properties and take out some of the walls in the back between and make a community there. So we're going to go from 3 units to 6 units in Orange, all affordable housing. So that will add to Orange's affordable housing requirements. It will be for seniors and families, and it will be a beautiful community, and it will improve the market in the area. So the real estate market for all of the neighbors will go up. It'll beautify the neighborhood, and it will be in addition to the housing market for those experiencing homelessness. And we're really proud to be able to do that. That's one of the things that HOMEAID has decided in the last 5+ years was we build for everybody else, and we're proud to do that, and we will always continue to do that. That's been our mission. But our board realized a few years ago that they had the opportunity to buy and develop housing that HOMEAID owns, that we partner with other nonprofits, and they operate it for us. And that will add to the housing inventory too, because again, it's the only thing that ends homelessness for people. So.
Yeah. And then in terms of funding for HOMEAID, are you able to get funding from the county, from the state, or is it really all philanthropic donations in terms of money and effort?
It is a combination of both. On La Vida, we have been really lucky and done some campaigns and had a really positive reaction. We also partnered with some other groups and have received some grants for La Vida. On another project that we're doing in the city of Santa Ana, that is 17 units of permanent supportive housing for our chronically homeless, that we partnered with the state of California with CalHFA and HCD. We also partnered with the Orange County Housing Finance Trust, the city of Santa Ana directly for funding on that project, and that'll be 17 units. And so it really is a diversity of funding opportunities.
That's usually the case with me, so I'm
I don't know what happened there. It sounded
I
like
don't know what that was.
I think we got tied into somebody else's morning party. So
There you go. Welcome to the morning show.
right, I think it was Good Morning America or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with what you were saying that you're basically, so you are partnering with these different agencies, whether it's state or county, whatever. And then what I was going to ask you was, before we got dipped into the party, was with these different agencies, is it complicated to navigate it, or do they try and expedite it because it is obviously, I mean, it is a time sensitive thing in the sense that the sooner you can get it built, the sooner you can get people off the streets. At the same time, it is still real estate development, and it's not, whether it's for homeless or others, it's just not a quick process.
I'd love to tell you that it was super simple and everybody just makes it happen, but it is complicated, but the partners that we partner with, everybody really is trying to help us get through it in a timely manner and making it possible and those kinds of things. But there are lots of hoops that you have to jump through. And I have to say, I have the ability to do it because I have a team that works with me and we all, understand and partner with these people. If it was the lay person that was just trying to build a home to house homeless people, I think it might be impossible.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever get it done, right?
Yeah. It's not easy.
No.
But it's worth it.
Right. And I'm going to guess that the city would do whatever they could to help expedite it, so they're not going to string it out. But when you're dealing with all these different agencies and trying to get them to work hand in hand, it's, I don't know if I could do it. I'd have a lot less hair if I had your job. And it's a challenge nonetheless. And so how does that, I want to talk about just the overall real estate market in general and how that impacts what it is you're doing. And while there's certainly a need and a desire and a push to deal with homelessness, the real estate market, while the volume of trades and stuff has slowed down, it doesn't seem like the values of the properties have really dropped dramatically, at least here in Orange County. And so does that, these opportunities, are they really coming from the city where the city controls the land, or are there private parties out there that say, hey, I don't know what to do with this, I want to sell it, and maybe there are opportunities for you to acquire properties from the private sector? Or is it really all coming from the cities?
I have to say right now, a lot of it is coming from the cities. The cities have areas that were identified in Senate Bill 2 that are designated for homeless provision. So whether they're going to build a shelter or it's permanent housing, they have some identified properties in their cities. And so they regularly put those out for the potential to be developed for homeless housing, very specifically. And so those really are the properties that we are looking at because it reduces the barriers to building for the homeless on those properties very specifically.
Gotcha. And in terms of the product that you're building or looking to build, whether it's renovation or whether it's ground up, are some of these builder partners that you bring in, are they looking at forward thinking in terms of technology and in terms of self-sustaining, in terms of solar, in terms of energy efficiency and net zero and all of that? I mean, we've done other shows where we know there's home builders out there doing that. It seems like this would be a perfect opportunity to rope that into the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really kind of fun. Obviously, we put solar, anything ground up in the state of California requires solar now, which is wonderful. And we have some great solar partners that come to the table, and they're very innovative, and they bring the newest and the best products to us because they want it to be cutting edge. They want it to be the best, and they want to be able to say that they did these things, and it's a blessing. But we also are doing things maybe specifically on our FX project in Santa Ana. We're doing some cutting edge key entry things that are going to make it more simple for our population and cost effective for the operator and for us in the long run. As far as like key entry, we talked about it yesterday at a meeting where we are putting in some systems where on their cell phone, because everybody has a cell phone, the cell phone will be triggered and they'll have direct entry to the front doors of the building. It'll just kind of unlock as they get close for them. And then they'll have a key card entry to their apartments so that we don't have to rekey every apartment. God forbid
Right.
somebody lose their key or whatever. We can just reprogram a key card for them. Quick, easy, simple, cost effective. We're doing those things. We're making all of our buildings now. They may not have the plugins for electric vehicles, but they are ready to be efficient for electric vehicles. We're doing a lot of things like that where we just are always looking for how can we reduce the cost to those living there and for the upkeep and maintenance of the buildings, make it as much affordable, but also, um, I don't want to say necessarily 100% green, but really thoughtful in that area because we want to be contributors. We want to make our community better. We want to make our environment better. We want to make it safe and healthy for everybody.
Yeah, it seems like too, if you're one of these sub trades and you were doing stuff either pro bono or to reduce costs, it would give you an opportunity to try something out that's new,
Yep.
that's neat, that you could
Yeah,
do two things at once. You could do a good thing
yeah,
and you could try something out. So
pretty great.
yeah, so it sounds
Yeah.
like, I mean, certainly you're solving the problem. I don't know if you're going to solve the problem, but you're helping the problem in terms
Mhm.
of homelessness. You are creating new property, revitalized property within
Mhm.
these neighborhoods within the city. And certainly we appreciate all the good work that you guys are doing and also
Mhm.
that of the partners that you've brought in. The board of directors that you have and some of these partners, they really are some of the key players in Orange County real estate development. I mean, they're
Mhm.
not small companies, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you really have done an excellent job of bringing in some of the key players in the market to help promote what it is that you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, we have an incredibly diverse board of directors, and um, I worked for a different nonprofit for many years, and this nonprofit, this board of directors is in with us constantly. We reach out to them and ask for questions and ask for connections and help us understand. And we have attorneys and we have insurance and we have builders and we have dry consultants and we have people from UPS and we have people from Prospera Hotels, and it really is a fantastic group of individuals that have come together and are truly dedicated to helping us end homelessness. And I couldn't be prouder to serve alongside them.
And any thought or talk about expanding what you're doing outside of Orange County, or you got enough going on to keep you busy?
Oh, you ask really great questions. Well, homemade
And I didn't
actually
even think of
is
these. I'm just making them up as we go. I just want you to know
you're
that.
doing
Yeah,
fantastic.
thanks.
I'm impressed. We actually are a national organization. We have affiliates across the nation. And Homemade Orange County currently is partnering with what is Homemade Los Angeles. And we are working on two projects up there that we're really proud of. And we are learning so much how different the landscape is in different areas. And Los Angeles is an entity unto itself. I mean, we see it on the news all the time, but I love the heart and the dedication of the partners that we have in Los Angeles and how much they are willing to jump in with us and try and figure this out one piece at a time. So yeah, we're national. And in California, we have entities in Sacramento, in Northern California. We have San Diego. We have the Inland Empire. We're Orange County. We're Los Angeles. So we really are looking to end homelessness here in California and then across the nation together.
Yeah, and I say to those folks in LA, good luck with that. That's a challenge
Amen.
enough in and of itself, trying to
Yeah.
navigate the city and the permitting process, let alone dumping
Yeah.
other layers on top of it. But it seems like if you were going to develop something in an area like the Inland Empire, where you have land more readily available,
Mhm.
it seems like that would be easier to get it off the ground than in a place like Los Angeles.
I would have to agree with you. I think that the Inland Empire just has more space to make it possible, and they're doing a fantastic job out there. And Los Angeles has a lot of innovative and cutting edge ideas and things. They're doing a lot of what you were talking about earlier, what was Project Room Key during COVID, and now is Project Home Key. So it's the purchase and renovation of motels that are not being operated, motels and hotels, they're not being operated like that now. And so they're renovating them and making them single room occupancy or studios for those experiencing homelessness, which really is a good use of what already exists. Why not take what's already built, make sure it's structurally and, safe and possible, but then it will happen more quickly that way than ground up.
Yeah, no question. And look, I mean, the problem's not getting solved in a day, if
No.
ever. And so you've got to take the pieces and do what you can, whether that's motels, whether that's renovations, whether that's ground up, whether that's these cubicle homes that they've talked about. I think it's all of the above, and I think you do what you can, and you just keep pecking away at it, and every day's a new day. And so, I told you when we started it would go quick, and it has, and we could talk about this stuff all day, I'm sure, but we are out of time, and there's all kinds of interesting challenges in the world today, both here domestically and abroad. And so, like I mentioned, we appreciate all the hard work that you and your team and your partners are doing, and which you wish you much continued success. How do people find out more information about HOMEAID? What's the website, or how can they contact you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, A, for having me. I'm so excited. And you can find us at homeaidoc.org. We're right there. There's opportunities to connect with us, to volunteer with us, to find out what we're doing. And I would love, to hear from everybody. We're here.
Yeah.
We do it with partners. We are not an entity unto ourselves. We exist because we get to partner with so many people. So we look forward to hearing from people.
Yeah, I would say, look, for those folks out there that have a check they want to write, I'm sure Yvette and her staff will be happy to take it off your hands.
Yes.
But if you don't have that and you just want to get involved and you want to learn more about it, or learn more about the process, or volunteer, certainly a great opportunity to do that. It combines doing something good, dealing with homelessness, with the real estate environment on top of it. So for everybody here, I want to thank you again for coming on the show. We appreciate it, and we wish you much continued success. I am Barry Saywitz, president of the Saywitz Company, and I want to thank all of our viewers and our listeners out there for tuning in. If it's Tuesday, we're talking real estate. We will see you back here next week on Let's Talk Real Estate. Thanks again.
Well, there you have it. You've been listening to Let's Talk Real Estate, your weekly BS with Barry Saywitz about the current state of the real commercial real estate market right here in Southern California. On Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studio here at the University of California, Irvine's Beall Applied